Do you ever find yourself staring at your to-do list, feeling overwhelmed? Maybe you try to push yourself to work harder, but deep down it feels like a constant struggle. What if I told you there's a way to rewire your brain so that you actually crave hard work? Imagine looking forward to challenges instead of dreading them. Sounds too good to be true, right? Well, it's not, and today I'm going to show you how. I'm Ola Furset, and for over 20 years, I worked in the field of performance psychology, helping individuals, teams, and companies unlock their potential. As a university-level teacher, I've dedicated my career to exploring the scientific principles behind motivation and human behavior, striving to make these insights practical and accessible for everyone. On this channel, my mission is to bridge the gap between scientific research and practical strategies so that everyone can benefit from the latest insights in the fascinating field of performance psychology. Make sure to subscribe because I have tons of valuable videos coming your way. Today, we're diving into a fascinating topic: how to reprogram your dopamine system to crave hard work. And by the end of this video, you'll learn my 5 secret steps to rewiring your brain for success. And make sure to stick around until the end for my bonus tips. It can accelerate your progress and help you achieve your goals faster. Let's go into part 1, the dopamine dilemma. Let's start with the basics. Dopamine is a neurotransmitter that plays a central role in motivation, reward, and learning. From a neuroscience perspective, dopamine acts as a chemical messenger in the brain, transmitting signals between neurons to regulate various functions. It is produced in several areas of the brain, including the substantia nigra and the ventral tegmental area, and plays a critical role in the brain's reward system. When you anticipate or achieve something rewarding, such as completing a task or enjoying a pleasurable experience, dopamine is released into specific brain regions. This creates a sense of satisfaction and reinforces the behavior, encouraging you to repeat it. Beyond reward, dopamine also influences motor control, mood regulation, decision-making, making it an essential neurotransmitter for human survival and adaptation. And contrary to popular belief, dopamine isn't just about feeling good, it's about seeking and anticipating rewards. And this anticipation is what drives us to take action. Research shows that dopamine is released not only when we achieve a goal, but also when we anticipate achieving it. This means that the process of working toward a goal can be just as rewarding as the outcome itself. However, in modern society, our dopamine systems are constantly being hijacked by instant gratification. Social media, fast food, and streaming platforms provide quick dopamine hits that require minimal effort, conditioning our brains to avoid tasks that involve delayed rewards. So let's have a look at chapter 2, why hard work feels hard. When your brain becomes accustomed to instant gratification, activities that require sustained effort, like studying, exercising, or learning a new skill, can feel disproportionately difficult. This phenomenon is supported by neuroscience. The brain's prefrontal cortex, which is responsible for executive functions like planning and self-control, must work harder to overcome the pull of the brain's reward system when immediate rewards aren't present. Let me share a real-world example. Sarah is a graphic designer who struggled to stay motivated. She loved her work, but found it hard to start projects because they felt overwhelming. Instead, she'd procrastinate by scrolling through her phone or watching TV. This is a classic case of what psychologists call present bias, the tendency to prioritize immediate rewards over long-term benefits. And Sarah's brain was wired to avoid effort because the rewards of completing her work felt too far away. And to overcome this, Sarah used a strategy rooted in behavioral psychology, breaking her tasks into smaller, manageable steps and celebrating each accomplishment. This approach, known as chunking, activates the brain's reward system more frequently, making the process of working feel more rewarding. And over time, Sarah found herself looking forward to her work instead of dreading it. Now let's have a look at the 5 specific steps you can take to reprogram your dopamine system. The first step is to celebrate the small wins. This concept is supported by research in positive psychology, which shows that recognizing and savoring small achievements can boost motivation and build momentum. By breaking down large goals into smaller milestones, you create more opportunities for your brain to release dopamine. Consider the neuroscience behind goal-directed behavior when training for a marathon. Instead of focusing solely on a distant finish line, which may feel abstract and disconnected from daily effort, leverage the brain's reward system by celebrating incremental achievements. Each training session completed activates the release of dopamine, reinforcing the behavior and making it more likely to be repeated. For instance, successfully running 5K triggers the brain's nucleus accumbens, which associates this effort with positive reinforcement. Waking up early to train taps into the prefrontal cortex, enhancing self-regulation and persistence. And by breaking down the marathon goal into smaller, attainable milestones and celebrating each success, you create a consistent feedback loop that strengthens neural pathways associated with motivation and effort. Let's have a look at step 2. Another scientifically backed strategy is practicing gratitude for the effort itself. Research in neuroscience and psychology has shown that gratitude activates brain regions associated with reward and motivation, such as the ventromedial prefrontal cortex. And by reflecting on the effort you've invested, you train your brain to associate hard work with positive emotions. Reflect on a time when you dedicated yourself to a challenging endeavor, such as preparing for an exam, completing a demanding project, or delivering a presentation. From a neuroscience perspective, these efforts engage brain regions such as the prefrontal cortex, which is responsible for planning and self-regulation, and the anterior cingulate cortex, which plays a role in effortful decision-making. Even if the outcome wasn't flawless, the neural pathways strengthened during these activities contribute to improved cognitive resilience and adaptability. Practicing gratitude for the effort itself activates the ventromedial prefrontal cortex, reinforcing the intrinsic value of hard work and promoting a positive emotional response to future challenges. Step 3. Embrace the power of flow. The concept of flow is another key element in reprogramming your system. Flow, a term coined by psychologist Mihaly Csikszentmihalyi, describes a state of complete absorption and deep focus in an activity where time seems to stand still. From a neuroscience perspective, flow occurs when the prefrontal cortex, responsible for higher order thinking and self-monitoring, temporarily quiets down in a process known as transient hypofrontality. This allows the brain to allocate more resources to the task at hand. And during this state, the brain releases a potent mix of neurochemicals, including dopamine, norepinephrine, and endorphins, which enhance focus, motivation, and even feelings of euphoria. Studies have shown that individuals experiencing flow not only perform better, but also report higher levels of satisfaction and well-being. For example, research in elite athletes has demonstrated that flow is associated with peak performance and a greater sense of fulfillment, while studies in educational settings have linked flow to improved learning outcomes and intrinsic motivation. This makes flow a powerful psychological and physiological tool for both productivity and personal growth. To achieve flow, you need a task that is both challenging and aligned with your skill level. If a task is too easy, you'll get bored. If it's too difficult, you'll feel frustrated. And finding the flow channel between these extremes keeps you engaged and makes the effort feel rewarding. Step 4 is reframe failure as feedback. And one of the most common barriers to embracing hard work is the fear of failure. However, research in mindset theory, particularly the seminal work of psychologist Carol Dweck, emphasizes that our beliefs about intelligence and abilities significantly shape how we approach challenges. Dweck's concept of the growth mindset suggests that individuals who believe their abilities can be developed through effort and learning are more likely to view failure as an opportunity for growth rather than as a reflection of inherent limitations. And this perspective activates adaptive responses in the brain, such as increased activity in the anterior cingulate cortex, which is associated with error detection and learning from mistakes. In one study, Dweck and her colleagues found that students with a growth mindset were more resilient in the face of academic challenges, showed higher levels of persistence, and ultimately achieved better outcomes compared to their peers with a fixed mindset. Adopting a growth mindset reframes mistakes as valuable feedback, encouraging individuals to approach challenges with curiosity and determination. Take Thomas Edison, for example. When asked about his numerous failed attempts to invent the light bulb, he famously said, "I have not failed, I've just found 10,000 ways that won't work." And this mindset allowed him to persist despite repeated setbacks, ultimately leading to one of history's most significant inventions. Step 5. Align your goals with your values. Finally, let's discuss the role of purpose in motivation, because research in self-determination theory provides a robust framework for understanding human motivation, emphasizing 3 fundamental psychological needs: autonomy, competence, and relatedness. Intrinsic motivation, which refers to engaging in an activity for its inherent satisfaction rather than external rewards, is most effectively cultivated when these 3 needs are met. Autonomy reflects the need to feel in control of one's actions and decisions. Competence involves the desire to feel capable and effective in one's efforts. And relatedness emphasizes the importance of meaningful connections with others. When goals align with an individual's core values and these psychological needs are fulfilled, intrinsic motivation flourishes. For example, a person pursuing a career that resonates with their personal values and allows for creative freedom is more likely to experience sustained motivation and satisfaction. And studies have demonstrated that environments supporting autonomy, fostering competence, and encouraging social connection lead to higher levels of performance, well-being, and long-term goal adherence. When you pursue goals that resonate with your identity and beliefs, hard work feels meaningful and fulfilling. Earlier, I mentioned the example of training for a marathon. Let's revisit this concept in more detail. Imagine someone preparing for a marathon to raise funds for cancer research in honor of a loved one. This isn't just about physical fitness, it's about connecting each training session to a greater purpose. Whether it's an early morning run or a grueling long-distance practice, every effort becomes a meaningful contribution to a cause that deeply care about. From a neuroscience perspective, engaging in such purposeful activities activates the brain's reward circuitry, which reinforces a sense of fulfillment and commitment. And this alignment of personal values and goals not only sustains motivation, but also enhances emotional resilience. It transforms the act of running into a journey of progress, not just towards the marathon finish line, but also toward a profound sense of contribution and purpose. Take a moment to reflect on your own goals. What matters most to you? How can you align your daily actions with your core values? When you find that connection, even the most challenging tasks become worthwhile. Lastly, I want to mention the importance of building a supportive community. Motivation doesn't exist in isolation. Social support plays a crucial role in sustaining effort and resilience. Studies in social psychology shows that being part of a supportive community enhances accountability, provides encouragement, and fosters a sense of belonging. Let me share one last story. Alex, a writer who constantly battled self-doubt and struggled to complete his work, feeling stuck, he decided to join a local writing group where members gathered to share their drafts and provide thoughtful, constructive feedback. Initially, Alex felt vulnerable presenting his ideas, but the group's supportive atmosphere encouraged him to take small, consistent steps. As his confidence grew, he began to see the value in collaboration and constructive critique. Over time, Alex's writing improved significantly, and he found the courage to submit his work for publication. Today, Alex is a published author who openly credits the unwavering support and shared wisdom of his writing community for helping him overcome his self-doubt and achieve his goals. Reprogramming your dopamine system takes time and effort, but the rewards are profound. By celebrating small wins, practicing gratitude for effort, embracing flow, reframing failure, aligning your goals with your values, and building a supportive community, you can transform your relationship with hard work. So what's your next challenge? What's one small step you can take today to start craving hard work? Let me know in the comments. And if you found this video helpful, I really appreciate you subscribe so that we can build a community that thrives on growth, effort, and resilience. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.